G'day guys, welcome to part 1 of my Dyna Lowrider S mods series. Just a few little tweaks that I will be doing to my Lowrider S over the next few months. And to kick it off, I'm going to explain how I went about choosing my Vance and Hines high output 2-in-1 short full exhaust system. It's a mouthful. Let's get straight into it. So when it came down to choosing an exhaust for a Harley Davidson, for my Harley Davidsons, from a 2017 Lowrider S, there's so many exhaust systems out there for sale for Harleys. There's shitloads. And it can really bamboozle you. So how am I going to narrow it down? So what I did was I was able to break it down into 4, I wouldn't say very important categories, but I was able to break it down to 4 categories that I thought were reasons why I would choose a particular exhaust. So the 4 categories, which I felt were half important or reasonably important anyway, were as follows. Colour. When it came to colour, there's only one choice that I want. It has to be black. Okay? I don't want chrome. I don't want brushed stainless steel. I don't want that stainless steel that's sort of that bronzy, brassy looking type of exhaust. Not that there's anything wrong with those colours, but just not interested. Don't think they'll suit my bike. So, it had to be black. Item number 2, sound. Sound I found to be very important because, let's face it, most people who buy a Harley will buy aftermarket exhausts, whether it be the full exhaust system or whether it just be slip-ons, purely for sound. I believe most of the time they just do it for sound, because my Lowrider S, when I got it off the showroom floor, it sounded like a sewing machine. Oh, yeah, I could have just got some slip-ons. Now when we're talking about sound, I don't want the exhaust to be obnoxiously, is that a word? Obnoxiously loud. Because if I got to ride for a couple of hours, 2-3 hours, it'll drive me mad. And it'll annoy the shit out of everyone, probably attract unwanted attention from the boys in blue, coppers as we call them down here. So in terms of sound, I wanted it to be loud enough so that I get left alone by the coppers. Loud enough to enjoy, loud pipes save lives, I reckon. So let's try and save my life. Item number 3. Style. Now style also ties in a little bit with sound, because when it came to sound, I had to decide whether I wanted 2-in-2, which also comes under style, or 2-in-1. Now, I definitely reckon the 2-in-1 sound different to a 2-in-2 Harley. They definitely sound different. And I like the both of them. I think that 2-in-2 is more that traditional sound type of Harley, you know, tough type of sound. But personally, I'm a fan of the 2-in-1s. So, when it came to sound, yes, I wanted it to be loud, but it also had to be 2-in-1 loud. Another reason why I've gone for 2-in-1 is because I just like the look of the 2-in-1s. I personally think the design, the style of 2-in-1s, I think they look a little bit better. You know, some of those 2-in-2s, they do look good. I like the, what are they called? They're sort of like a down-swept 2-in-2. The big radius, I think they look pretty cool. But I just like the 2-in-1s. I think they look good. So, it's pretty easy really, choosing the exhaust so far, isn't it? Had to be black, had to be reasonably loud, And I like the sound of the 2-into-1s, and I like the design, the style of the 2-into-1s. I like the look of the 2-into-1s. Item number 4, which I thought may be important. Gains. Gains. Performance gains. You know, I sat down and I thought about performance gains. Haven't had the exhaust fitted now, and having ridden the Lowrider S with stock pipes, you know, there's really not that much difference. Seriously, let's not bullshit ourselves here. There really is not much difference. So, yeah, it might be breathing a little bit better. It might have a couple of horsepower extra. Who knows? I haven't put it on a dyno. Yeah, I've had it reflashed. I've had a tuner put on there, but which I'll go into in another video. But it's definitely louder. It's definitely louder. It sounds better, but is it performing better? I don't know. If it is, it's marginal, right? It's marginal. So in terms of gains, you know, this is a Harley Davidson. You know, if for the price you pay for a Harley Davidson, if you're so hell bent on performance, on getting this thing to just go hammer and tong, for the price I paid for that Lowrider S, I could have bought this or that. And you know, those bikes there, I could have bought those and had change and had a bike that's quick round the corners, quick off the mark. Wouldn't sound like a Harley Davidson, not as good as looking as a Harley Davidson, I don't think, but would perform better than a Harley Davidson in terms of speed, cornering, acceleration, all that sort of jazz. So, gains, I'm really not interested in any gains. It's more the cosmetic thing, you know, I want it to look black, look cool, I want it to sound cool, I like the look of the 2-into-1, that's it. So now it came down to deciding which particular exhaust I was going to go with. So having narrowed it down to the colour and the fact that I wanted a 2-into-1, I was then able to narrow it down to 4 particular exhaust systems which I liked. I liked them all, but they just didn't grab me. They just didn't grab hold of me and say, wow, look at that, you know. Because remember, when you buy an exhaust system, you know, they're about $1,000. So, you know, when you're spending $1,000 on something, you want it to really grab a hold of you. You know, when you hear someone start up a particular exhaust, you want it to be, wow, shit, that sounds fantastic. I got to get that. That's what I want. That's how you want to feel when you're choosing an exhaust. The initial exhaust that I really took a liking to was this one here, the Thunder Header. I really thought the Thunder Header exhaust looked so good, and I still to today think that the Thunder Header is a really good looking exhaust, and it sounds pretty cool as well. Initially, that was the exhaust I was getting. I've noticed on YouTube, in the States in particular, there's plenty of these particular type of exhausts getting around. I don't see that many in my neck of the woods. So you might be asking yourself, well, why didn't you get it then? This is why I didn't get it. The couple of bikes that I came across in Melbourne that had this particular exhaust, the Thunder Header exhaust, I don't know whether it was because the owners didn't look after their bikes cosmetically, but those particular exhausts looked like they were fairly well worn, and they weren't that old either, only a couple of years old. The paint job looked like it was fading, and it just worried me, because I'm a bit fussy. I like things to look nice all the time. And like I said, you know, maybe they weren't looking after it in terms of washing and all that. I'm not sure. I don't know. But that's why I put a hold on going hell bent for the Thunder Header exhaust. I thought maybe I should look around and see if there's something else. Anyway, I went to my local Harley dealer one day for some bloody reason, Anyway, I had a low rider rest there, and he came up to me and he said, "Come check out this exhaust. This is what you need," he said. The Two Brothers Racing exhaust. Had a nice carbon fibre tip. It was black. It did look good, this exhaust. It did look good. It was loud. It was probably a little bit too loud for me. And I like that deep rumble. I like it to be loud, but I like to have a deep rumbling sound as well. This one I didn't think had that much of a deep rumbling sound, but it was loud. Strangely enough, this particular exhaust here, the slip-on part of the exhaust, I personally felt that it didn't really suit my particular bike. I felt that the slip-on part of the Two Brothers exhaust was very sport bike looking. It just didn't have that wow factor for me, so that's why I didn't go for it. So that was pretty quickly scrubbed off the list. The second one I came across, and there's quite a few of these getting around my neck of the woods, and I must say most of them are on the V-Rod Harley Davidsons. There's quite a few V-Rods that get around my area, and a lot of them are running these, the Vance and Hines competition series. They sound good, and they are, excuse my French, but they are fucking loud, really loud. And they come in black, they come in like a stainless steel colour, they came in like that brassy, bronzy type colour. I just felt that they were too loud, too loud. That's why I didn't go for them. Then I went on demo day. And when I went on this particular demo day, one of the bikes I was riding was running one of these. Bassani Road Rage. It was a black Bassani Road Rage, and it had a couple of white sort of stripes on the tip of the exhaust. It looked good, this exhaust, I must admit, it really did look good. The Bassani Road Rage, I was that close. I was that close to getting the Bassani Road Rage. And I have seen a few of them around in my neck of the woods, and they do look really good. I just wasn't sold on the sound. I just wasn't sold on the sound. It really did come down to these two, and like I said, I love the look of that. I love the sound of it. I was just worried about how quickly it was going to age on me. These two were just too loud. This one looked great, and I just wasn't 100% on the sound. But this Bassani Road Rage, he was the clubhouse leader. Anyway, I thought I'll just keep searching on the internet, YouTube and whatever, and see if something else pops up. And occasionally in your activity feed, you know, they get you to watch suggested videos. And that's when things began to change, because this particular video. Gotta admit, when I seen that video there, I thought, wow, I could be onto something here. I listened to that video over and over and over. I had my headphones on, I was playing it loud, listening to it. Just really liked it, really liked it. I don't know whether it was the way they put that video together or whatever it was, I just loved it. And the only problem was, I had never seen one in this area. You know, I'd never seen one. I'd never seen one in the flesh to listen to it. The only ones I'd seen were on YouTube. I was a bit hesitant, even though I loved the sound on YouTube. I loved the look of it. I loved everything about that particular exhaust. I just needed something else to confirm that, yes, go get it. Then I got this suggested video to watch. seen that video there, I said, that's it. That is me. That's got to be my bike. And I went out and bought one. Now, in hindsight, I am so happy I bought that particular exhaust. It looks great. It's got a deep rumble to it. One of the things I love about it is if there's coppers around, I'm able to just ride it gently or like a pussy, and it's just got a soft, vibrating rumble. It's not loud, it's not obnoxious. Coppers leave me alone. And then at the same time, if I want to give it a panful, mate, it just wakes up the whole neighbourhood. It's that type of exhaust. It just roars. I don't regret buying it. It was expensive. It cost me just over $1,000, but you know, who cares? I love it. Simple as that. And that's how I went about choosing my particular exhaust. Since I had the Vance and Hines high output 2-in-1 short it fitted, recently I stumbled across this particular brand, Red Thunder. My brief research into this particular brand, very brief research, tells me that it's an Italian manufacturer, I believe, and this particular Red Thunder exhaust system is a knockoff of the Thunder header, and I think they're stainless steel. I really like them. I really like them. I'm yet to see one getting around, but I really, really like them, and I think I might